Hey, what's up everybody? ASMR Fanatic here, and tonight I am going to be ranking my top 20 favorite WWE pay-per-views of all time. Now, these are either shows that I just love to death, or they are straight from my childhood. So yeah, that's kind of the criteria per se of, how I'm going to be ranking these shows and which ones are my favorites. So yeah. And also, most of these shows I have already made videos on in the past, and I've talked about them quite a bit, so I won't be going over all the matches on every card. I'll just be, naming the matches that I just like. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. And as you guys can see here, in 20th place, I have Royal Rumble 2016. And this show, this occurred during a time where I became really disinterested in the WWE product. Because I really did not like the year 2015 at all. I became so... it was just bad. Just a really bad time for the WWE in my opinion. But this show, as you guys probably, you guys know, but AJ Styles made his debut at this show. And that really, opened my eyes, and I was like, what? Like, this guy came from New Japan and TNA. Like, what is he doing in WWE? So yeah, this show is always gonna be special to me. But yeah, other than that, you had some other really good matches on this card. You had Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. Was that a no DQ match? It was something, I forget, but it was a really good match. Oh, Last Man Standing, that's it. Yeah, like I said, the Royal Rumble match itself was great. I loved it. One of the all-time best, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't remember the other matches. It's been a long time since I've seen this show, but yeah, this show was just great. I thought a really good show. Very well booked, surprisingly. And yeah, as you guys can see, my all-time favorite won the Rumble that year. So yeah, I loved it. And next up, I have Vengeance 2001. One undisputed champion. Now, I was going to put No Mercy to 2001 in, or on the list, I should say. But this show, I just loved to death. Just that video package alone of, that was centered around the three main events, and it had the song Centered by Drowning Pool in it. Just perfection. That's my all-time favorite video package. And this show was just fun to watch. I mean, you had, Rob Van Dam versus Undertaker in a hardcore match, amazing. And you had the three main events, which are all great. Well, these two are great. That was just iffy, but those two were good. And yeah, I just loved it. I loved the whole show. The booking was good. And yeah, it's a fun time period to watch wrestling. And next up, Summerslam 2013. Definitely one of the all-time best SummerSlams in history. I mean, you had a lot of good matches on this card. You had Alberto Del Rio versus Christian, which was surprisingly really good. Of course, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena, and the ending, which was great, with Randy Orton coming out and catching his Mind the Pink briefcase and Triple H turning heel. That was just great. And then this match is amazing. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. Wow. I watched that match again, I think 3 months ago. It was sometime, I think last year, maybe. But yeah, amazing. That match still holds up so damn good. But yeah, this show is just a very fun 3 hours or so. And next up, WrestleMania play button, or WrestleMania 31. Now, again, like I said earlier, I was not a fan of the year 2015, and this was the WrestleMania in which took place in that year. But this show shocked me of how good it really was. Yeah, let's see, wait, do they list down the matches inside? Let me see. Good memories, man. That was back when I actually liked Seth Rollins. Okay, so they do list them on the disc. Okay, that's easier for me. Yeah, you had a lot of good matches on here. Let's see. You had that ladder match, which I love. That Daniel Bryan won, but he had to relinquish the title afterwards, so yeah. Anyway, that was a great match. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. That spot where Randy launched Seth into the air and hit the RKO. Amazing. Jaw-dropping. Sting versus Triple H. Sting should have won. That's a no-brainer, but, the match was still fun. Let's see, what else do you have on here? Let's see. Brock versus Roman. That was surprisingly good. I really did not like Roman Reigns during that time period. He was way overpushed. Brock Lesnar I just didn't really like anymore. But, they went out there and they had a really good match. And then, at the end, Seth cashing in just made it perfection. And, yeah, overall, just a really fun WrestleMania. Definitely the best show of that year. Definitely the best show. And next, I have Royal Rumble 2005 with one of the best DVD covers ever. I love this cover. But yeah, this might be my favorite Royal Rumble show ever. Maybe. I think it is. But yeah, this had a lot of good stuff on it. Besides that match, we won't talk about that match right there. So yeah, Shawn Michaels versus Edge, that was great. Fuck that match. The Royal Rumble match itself was fantastic, very well booked. A lot of good spots in that match. This triple threat match is very underrated. I love this match. So good. And even Triple H versus Randy Orton, I thought was good too. I believe Randy got concussed during the match, I believe. Something happened, but yeah, I liked it though. Really good stuff. And next, Extreme Rules 2012. The return of Brock Lesnar. This is almost a perfect pay-per-view. Besides the women's match, this show was great. It was so good. I'll just go over the whole card here because it's that damn good. You had Randy Orton versus Kane in a Falls Count Anywhere match. That was great. Big Show versus Cody Rhodes. I liked the ending. I thought it was creative. Where Big Show stuck his foot, or he fell off the ring apron because of Cody, and his foot went through the table, so Cody won the match, which was funny, but I liked it. This match, the 2 out of 3 Falls match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, whoa, they put on a fantastic match. I loved it. Chicago Street Fight, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, awesome. Like I said, Nikki Bella versus Layla, that sucked. But no one ever remembers that match anyways. They just remember the rest. So, but then you had the main event, Extreme Rules match, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, this match is great and all, but John Cena winning, it did suck. Brock Lesnar obviously should have won, but the match was still kick-ass. I loved it. And then I have WrestleMania 19. Yeah, one of the all-time best WrestleManias. I mean, from the theme song of Crack Addict by Limp Bizkit to, all the matches on here, to the moments, it's just great. So you had, Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio, a great opening match. The Triple Threat Women's match, that was good. Triple Threat Tag Team match, that was pretty good. Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho. I've said this before. I don't really like that match. But it still belongs on a WrestleMania, so I can't. I could cut it some slack because it is a WrestleMania marquee match. Triple H versus Booker T. Booker T should have won the belt, but the match I thought was still good, but it was messed up. The storyline and all that, yeah. Anywho, you had Hulk Hogan versus Mr. McMahon, tons of fun. Steve Austin versus The Rock, really good. And main event, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, that spot alone where Brock did the shooting star press. Wow. That is one of my all-time favorite WrestleMania moments. It's just so fun to go back and watch. And next is a show straight from my childhood, Armageddon, 2006. Now, two matches really stand out for me on the show. And first is this match, which actually turned into a four-way ladder match, as you guys know. Paul and Brian Kendrick versus William Regal and Dave Taylor versus Eminem versus the Hardy Boys. And, of course, this match had the spot where Joey Mercury busted his face after Jeff Hardy did that move on the ladder. My gosh, that image of his face is still stuck in my mind to this day. It will never leave. But yeah, fantastic match, one of my all-time favorites. And the other match that I love to death is the last ride match between Undertaker and Mr. Kennedy. Just fantastic. Now, it's been a long time since I've seen that match, but there was a spot where either Undertaker threw Mr. Kennedy off the stage, or Kennedy threw Taker off. I think it was Kennedy who threw Taker off the stage, and yeah, crazy stuff. I'm a huge fan of their feud. They had a great story. And next up, Royal Rumble 2007, another show from my childhood. And again, two matches stand out on the show. The first up, John Cena versus Umaga in the Last Man Standing match. These two always had good matches, and this one was their all-time best. It was super violent, and yeah, definitely one of John Cena's best matches ever, and Umaga's best match ever. And the Royal Rumble match itself, just a classic. You had ECW joining Raw and SmackDown in the match, and it came down to Shawn and Undertaker, which was fantastic. So yeah. And next up, WrestleMania 21. Let's see, do I list the matches that I cover? Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, another show from my childhood. Yeah, right off the bat, this WrestleMania includes one of my all-time favorite matches, and that is Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. 5 stars. Just, yeah, 6 stars. Let's do a little Dave Meltzer here. It is perfection. Those two had a hell of a match. Definitely one for the ages. And yeah, other good matches on this card. Rey vs. Eddie, pretty good. The first ever Money in the Bank ladder match, my all-time favorite. I love that match. Undertaker vs. Randy Orton, really good. Really, really, really good. And yeah, the two main events, I didn't really like, which, kind of, I like this WrestleMania, but it kind of downplays it, but I did include that show on the list because of Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. I just love that match so much. And next up, Survivor Series 2002. honestly, this is a flawless show. There really is no bad matches on here. I guess you can count Brock versus Big Show for how short it was, I guess. But, you know, I still liked it. So, yeah, that makes for a perfect show, in my opinion. And, of course, you had the debut of Scott Steiner, which I love. One of my all-time favorite wrestlers. You had Jamie Nolan versus Billy Kidman. I loved it. Trish Stratus versus Victorian Hardcore match. Great stuff. 6-man table match. The Dudleys and Jeff Hardy versus 3-minute warning and Rico. Very fun. I love that match. Triple threat elimination tag team match. Edge and Ray versus Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit versus Eddie and Chavo. You know, those three teams can do no wrong as it is. And elimination chamber match. You guys already know who's in this match, but yeah, just great stuff, you know. Shawn Michaels winning at the end, one of the most feel-good moments ever. And yeah, next up, ECW One Night Stand, 2005. This might be one of the most fun shows I've ever watched. It is like the ultimate thrill ride. You know, really the crowd made the show. They were hot for the entire time. And, you know, some of the chants they were chanting, my gosh. But yeah, just looking at this match card here. You had Lance Storm vs. Jericho, that was great. Rey Mysterio vs. Psychosis, that was good. 3-way dance, Super Crazy Tajiri and Luke Guido, that was fun to watch. Eddie and Benoit, they've had better matches. The main event, Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman versus the Dudley Boys. Brutal. Very brutal. But, you know, one of my favorite matches on this card, which I don't know why they didn't list on the back over here, but it was Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome. My gosh. I just said that was a brutal match, but yeah, their match was, they tried to kill each other. Like, I'm not even kidding. Go look up that match and watch it. There's a spot where Masato Tanaka almost got impaled through a table. It was very, very hard to watch, but yeah, amazing match. And next up, as you guys can see, Money in the Bank 2011. And there he is, CM Punk, winning the title. One of the all-time best WWE moments ever in history. You know, of course, WWE won't admit that, but it really is. It's very historic. You know, at the time, you didn't know if CM Punk was going to come back or not. I mean, he just took the towel and just ran because his contract was up. So, yeah, him doing that made wrestling exciting again. And that's why the show is so important. And, you know, honestly, I should have included this on my top 5 on this list, but, you know, it's whatever. But, yeah, this match alone just makes this pay-per-view one of the all-time greatest. But, yeah, they had a great match. But, yeah, other matches on here were great, too. You know, Randy Orton versus Christian, they always had good matches. The 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches were also great. Very good. Especially the SmackDown one, which was that one. That was very good. And yeah, you know, just a historic show. Very, very historic. And next up, which is probably the most underrated pay-per-view ever, Unforgiven, 2002. And, you know, when I first watched this show, I was blown away because I had so much fun watching this show. And, you know, a lot of people, they were mixed on this show. Like, some liked it, some didn't. I loved it. This show was just so fun. So you start with a very fun 8-man tag team match. You had Jericho versus Flair, that was pretty good. Edge versus Eddie, that was pretty good as well. Billy and Chuck versus Rosie and Jamal, I thought was pretty good. Triple H vs. Rob Van Dam. No, that was good. Rob Van Dam should have won the title, but it was whatever. Trish Stratus for Molly Holly. They always had good matches. Angle vs. Benoit, which was fantastic as always. And the main event, Brock Lesnar vs. Undertaker. Great as well. They always had good matches. And yeah, even the theme song, which was Adrenaline by Gavin Rossendale. I love that song. So yeah, this is like a picture-perfect pay-per-view for me. And also took place in the year 2002, which is one of my all-time favorite years. So yeah. And another underrated pay-per-view, Backlash 2001, with another awesome cover, one of my all-time favorites. And just like Unforgiven, a very fun show. And a lot of people hated on the show. I loved it. I don't care what people say. And I've talked about the show many times before, but yeah, you had, Rhino vs. Raven, insane match. William Regal vs. Chris Jericho, and the Duchess of Queensberry Rules match, a lot of fun. Benoit vs. Angle in a 30-minute Ultimate Submission match. Good lord. Like, wow. No, shut up and take my money. Just 5 stars. A classic. Shane McMahon's Big Show, Last Man Standing, tons of fun. And the main event, which I talked about actually in my last video. It told a great story of Kane and his arm, so yeah, really good match and a really good show. I highly suggest you gotta watch it. And yeah, next up, WrestleMania 23, a show from my childhood. Well, actually, a lot of the shows coming up are from my childhood, but yeah. Yeah, WrestleMania 23, man, a lot of good memories. She's like, where do I even begin? You had the Money in the Bank ladder match, which was so fun to watch. Just like how stacked it was. You had a lot of good wrestlers in that match. You had the Battle of the Billionaires. Now, say what you want, but this made money because it did have Donald Trump. This really put WWE on the map when they did this match. They promoted it so much, and yeah, it was a match, but a very fun match. I did like it. And you had Batista vs. Undertaker. Great. Taker won the title, as you guys can see there. And John Cena vs. Shawn Michaels, which I think is one of the most underrated WrestleMania matches ever. Great match. And yeah, Cena won the title. Shawn should have won, but it's whatever. Still a good match though. And next up, another show from my childhood, Unforgiven 2006. Another flawless show, in my opinion. A lot of good stuff on here, which really brings me back to my childhood. Everybody hates on this match. I don't care. I don't give a shit. This match is so damn fun to watch. But I even watched it again not too long ago, and it still holds up, in my opinion. DX versus the McMahons and Big Show inside a Hell in a Cell. Yeah. I loved it. I loved the storyline and everything about it, the video package. And it was also very violent. Super violent. And yeah, you also had Johnny Nitro versus Jeff Hardy. That was good. Lita versus Trish. And Trish's last match with the company. Very good. I believe she won the title here too. So yeah, awesome moment. Carlito versus Randy. That was great. Spirit Squad versus Highlanders. It was alright. Kane versus Umaga. I liked it. I thought it was fun. And, of course, main event, Edge with Lita versus John Cena in a TLC match. Yeah, one of the best matches of the Ruthless Aggression era. It was so good. Their feud is also one of the best ever. I loved it. And another show from my childhood, Vengeance. I am running out of breath here, but we're almost done. But yeah, Vengeance 2006. Again, this is a show that not a lot of people liked, but I loved it for nostalgic purposes, and also I think the show is still good. I love it. Yeah, I used to watch the show on repeat, just like Unforgiven 2006, like over and over and over. I was obsessed with this show. And yeah, let's see. Oh, you had this theme song here of Victims by 18 Visions, a great song. And yeah, let's get to the match card. You had Eugene versus Umaga. You know, it was fun. Even though I'm not a big fan of the whole Eugene character, I thought it was still fun. Triple threat. Shelton Benjamin versus Carlito versus Johnny Nitro. That was good. Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle. Good as well. Ric Flair versus Mick Foley. 2 out of 3 Falls match. Very good. They always had good matches. Kane versus Imposter Kane. You know, at that time, I thought this was interesting. Very interesting. Because when I was little, I was like, oh, wow, there's 2 Kanes. What? But, yeah, it is kind of stupid seeing it now, but, you know, it was fun, I thought. This crazy match. John Cena versus Sabu. What? Like, this seems fake, but, yeah. And then Extreme Lumberjack match. Very fun match. I love that match. Then you had the Spirit Squad versus DX. Again, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of this version of DX. My all-time favorite version, actually. And yeah, I thought the match was a lot of fun. And you also had Van Dam versus Edge for the title. You know, that was great as well. So yeah, a very fun show. Very, very, very fun. And in second place, no shocker here, WrestleMania 17. Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, what else can there else be said? This is one of the best show of all time. Definitely the best WrestleMania. Actually, I take that back, but yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, WrestleMania 17. Again, there's no words to describe this show. You had these 3 matches, and also Triple H versus Undertaker, and Kane versus Big Show versus Raven. I forgot to mention that match in my last video, but I am now. Yeah, combine all those matches, and boom, you have WrestleMania 17. And also that includes my favorite match of all time, the TLC 2 match. Yeah, what else is there to be said? Just a fantastic WrestleMania. And number 1, which I will correct myself, this is the best WrestleMania. WrestleMania 22. Straight from my childhood, this show is. Yeah, I love everything about this show. You know, besides Tori Wilson versus Kansas Michelle in a Playboy pillow fight, the show is perfect. I love it. I love it to death. Yeah, you can see how worn out it is, because it is the first wrestling DVD I ever owned, and, you know, that was when I didn't even know what WWE even was. This was the show that got me into wrestling in the first place, because actually my dad's friend bought this DVD for me, and I was like, what's this? And I popped in the DVD, I was like, wow. And yeah, it's funny because one of the first matches I ever saw was this match when I was like, I think 8 years old. I think, Yeah, Mick Foley versus Edge in a hardcore match. I was like, oh my gosh, they're bleeding. Barbed wire, what? Flaming table? Yeah, good times. Just super nostalgic for the show and so many good memories. I mean, yeah, screw it. I'll go over the whole match card here. You had Big Show and Kane versus Carly and Chris Masters. Everything on this card I liked. So, yeah, I liked it. Money in the Bank match I liked. Benoit versus JBL I liked. Mick Foley versus Edge. Perfect match. Super brutal. Booker T versus Boogeyman. Or Booker T and Sharmell versus Boogeyman. It was kind of disrespectful to put Booker T in this situation at WrestleMania, but I thought it was fun. I did like the Boogeyman character, so yeah, I'll give it a pass. Trish Stratus versus Mickie James, definitely one of the best WrestleMania women's matches ever, in my opinion. Or no, probably the best, probably my favorite. Casket match, Undertaker versus Mark Henry, not as bad as people say it is. I actually like that match. It is slow, but I thought it was pretty good. Shawn Michaels versus Mr. McMahon, all-time classic. I love that match. Triple threat for the world title, Kurt Angle versus Ray versus Randy Orton. Awesome stuff. Ray won the title. Now, the match was short, but it was a lot of fun. It felt like a sprint. So, yeah. And then, main event, John Cena versus Triple H for the WWE title. Now, Triple H should have won. I don't care what people say, I was rooting for Triple H. He was my guy, but yeah, John Cena won. But, the match itself was great, so I can't excuse it. And yeah, that'll do it for my top 20 all-time favorite WWE pay-per-views. And I am out of breath. So, yeah. Excuse me for talking very fast during this video. I just wanted to get through it without running out of breath. So, yeah. But anywho, as always, hope you guys enjoyed. And let me know in the comments what are your guys' favorite WWE pay-per-views of all time. And also, I will be making a follow-up video to this one where I list my top 20 least favorite WWE pay-per-views of all time, which was a very easy list to make because I already have it ready to go to film, and yeah, I am going to be ranting a lot in that video, so get ready. It is going to be fun to watch. But yeah, with all that being said, this has been the ASMR Fanatic signing out.